inquiry into how thousands of people died and the health of many more was blighted as a result of the infected blood scandal is drawing to a close.
It's viewed as the biggest treatment disaster in NHS history and affected scores of people from our region. Melanie Mckay from Sheffield was one of them. Her poor health has even prevented her from attending today's inquiry.
Well, lawyers representing Melanie and thousands of people like her say they want the inquiry to conclude that what happened could have been avoided. Our political correspondent Katie Oscroft reports.
Melanie Mckay was a little girl when she was given contaminated blood for haemophilia. She was infected with HIV. She's never known good health. She wasn't even well enough to travel to the final part of the inquiry in London today.
A lot of my life has been taken from me. My dreams and aspirations was actually to be a paediatric specialist nurse, but due to the implications of HIV, I've not been able to fulfil my wishes.
Mr. Snowden.
In her absence, the barrister representing many people like Melanie spelled out the real tragedy of what happened.
This was a scandal, as we and others have long described it, precisely because it was avoidable. It need not have happened, and we will invite you to conclude in your report that it should not have happened.
Almost 3,000 people died after being given contaminated blood in the 70s and 80s. It was gathered mainly from abroad, from high-risk donors, such as drug addicts and prisoners. The issue now is whether this practice could have been stopped before it ruined the lives of so many people. Dame Diana Johnson leads a group of MPs from all parties who monitor this issue.
What I want to see is when the report comes out in the summer with clear recommendations, I want the government to be ready to act immediately. We don't want any further delays, and if there is now a call for compensation to be paid, that should be paid speedily. We know that one person is still dying on average every 4 days from the contaminated blood scandal.
I'm hoping that out of this, that there will be answers and that everything will not, and it will not happen again, because I wouldn't want anybody else to go through what I've had to go through.
Melanie Mckay has never known a normal, healthy life. She has, though, unlike many people, lived to see the truth of what happened made public.
Well, Katie's been following this in Westminster. And Katie, even though the inquiry itself is now drawing to a close, this isn't quite the end of the story, is it?
No, it's not, Lisa. But first of all, I think it's important not to understate what we are dealing with here. This was and is an absolute scandal, not just affecting the victims, the thousands of victims, but also their families. Now, once this final part of the inquiry is over, there will be a report and recommendations, hopefully in the summer. Now, it's not the job of this inquiry to determine criminal liability, but many families are saying they want to see prosecutions against perhaps the government, civil servants and doctors. What the inquiry can do is pass on documents and evidence to prosecutors for them to decide whether anyone should appear in court over this. And it's likely that we will hear about that in the summer as well.
OK, Katie, live in Westminster, thank you.